Hey everyone, my name is Nigel Bajos, and in today's video I'm going to show you 3 different audio setups that you can use for shooting YouTube videos like this. So one of the biggest things with a lot of novice filmmakers is they kind of neglect their audio. You know, I still make mistakes in my audio and I mess it up, and I've been doing this for a while. Now in all 3 of these setups, all the gear that I'm going to mention is going to be very budget friendly, and each of these are going to be good for different kinds of situations. So what you're actually listening to right now is my favorite lav mic, and that is the Aspen Stereo HQ lav mic, and I have it clipped right here to my shirt. This Aspen mic is really affordable, and the way that I have it hooked up to my camera is just through a mic extension cable, and you can get away with this setup on many different cameras. The only cameras that might give you some trouble is like the older Canon cameras that have really bad preamps, but I've used this setup on a Canon 80D and a GH3, G6, you know, the Sony a6300. It should work really well with any of those cameras, and it gives you really nice clean audio. And the reason for that is because you have it really close to your mouth. So the closer the mic is to the audio source, you're gonna get a lot better sounding audio. But some of the downsides of this setup is that you do get a lot more bass from your voice since it's coming from, you know, the bottom. And sometimes when you do this, you're gonna hear a lot of the ruffling sounds if you try to, like, you know, move your shirt around or something like that. And that can be kind of distracting. So that would be one of the biggest downsides for a setup like this. And if you're doing a YouTube video that maybe, like, you know, there's 2 people in the shot, you're gonna have to figure out a system where you can hook up 2 lav mics and get them running into your camera. I did do a review, which I'll put up here, about a system by Comica that actually lets you do that. But if you don't want to have to go through the hassle of, you know, connecting all those cables and, you know, making this whole rig just for a lav mic for 2 people or something like that, then a lav system like this may not be the best option. Okay, so the next setup that we're gonna do is gonna be using shotgun microphones like these. Now, these kind of are on 2 different ends of like the price spectrum, I guess. This Sennheiser MKE 400 is still around 150 to 200 bucks if you buy it new. And if you want this for a windscreen that's a design for this mic, it's gonna cost you extra as well. And this is still a pretty good on-camera shotgun mic, although I would say the Rode VideoMic Pro is probably a little bit better than this one. And I just haven't really had a reason to, you know, switch to the Rodes, but you could switch this out for a Rode mic. I've just had this forever. And then the other mic I'm going to be talking about is the mic that I talk about way too much, but this is the little Comica VM10. And you could, you know, switch this out for like a Rode Video Micro or something like that. But the next setups that we're going to do are going to be using a microphone like this. And I'm going to show you how to get it close without getting it in the frame. And we're also going to avoid just putting it right on top of the camera, because if you're, you know, even this far away from the camera, I'm only like arm's length away, having the mic right on top of the camera is not really the best way to record audio. So other than your mic, you will need a couple other things. You're gonna need a microphone extension cable. Now this one is just a really cheap one by Belkin, but I would definitely recommend the Rode 3.5mm extension cable. That's what I'm actually using right now with my Aspen Lav mic. So get a good extension cable. I think the Rode one is a little bit pricey. It's like 10 to 20 bucks, but definitely worth it. I've definitely had some problems with this, and I've bought cheaper extension cables and they've just been absolutely horrible. There's like weird hissing in the background, so buy a good extension cable. The next thing you're gonna need is a mic stand. Now, this is a pretty cheap mic stand. You can get it off Amazon, and this is actually like more designed for holding mics on stage or something like that, if you're like a singer. But this one's pretty cheap. You will have to get one extra thing with this mic stand, and that is a mic stand to 1/4-20 converter. So this little guy I think is by Camvate, and it costs about, I don't know, 7 or 10 bucks, something like that. But this will allow you to have a 1/4-20 tap on the end of your mic stand. And since most mics have 1/4-20 taps in the bottom of them, that allows you to take the mic and screw it in to your mic stand. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Now you have the ability to boom your mic above you or below you, depending on, like, you know, the space that you're in or the shot that you have. But yeah, I'm gonna switch to booming this mic above me so you can see the difference between having a lav mic on and then recording your audio with a microphone like this boomed above you. So now you're listening to me with the Comica VM10 boomed right above me just at a screen. You can kind of see it if I bring it down. But this is a really cheap and easy solution to get the mic closer to your face but still out of frame and not having to have it like on top of your camera. Now sometimes this won't be the easiest setup. If you're like standing up or something like that, trying to boom this mic above you just isn't gonna work, especially if you're tall. But even if you're, you know, just average height, like you're not gonna be able to boom this above you. So I'm gonna show you what it sounds like booming it below you as well. All right, so now it's actually boomed below me just at a screen, and I actually prefer doing it this way a lot of the times because it can actually get closer to my face than it would be able to, you know, booming above me. So again, like all these components are really cheap. I would say that like you could get all of this stuff for probably under $100, and you can get a really great YouTube audio setup with these, you know, budget-friendly components. And the next setup that I'm going to show you is basically this same idea, but if you want to like remove the need for having this mic stand and just keep your setup a little bit more compact, I'm going to show you how I do that as well. So maybe you're in a smaller space or you travel a lot and, you know, maybe, you know, shoot a vlog in some like random location. Bringing around a boom stand just really isn't that practical. So this is another really easy way to get the mic closer to you without having to have a mic stand like that. And the way that I do that is just with this. This is a little magic arm with a clamp on the end of it. So when I release this magic arm, you can see it doesn't get super long, but getting the mic on there, because it has that 1/4-20 at the end, you can put the mic at the end of this little magic arm and just orient it towards your face. Tighten it down, and then all you got to do is just clamp this onto your tripod. And I'm actually just going to do that right now. I'm going to clamp it right onto my tripod leg, and then you can see that I'm getting basically the same results as using the mic stand. All right, so I have it clamped, and now I'm going to switch over to the shotgun mic. All right, so now you're listening to me on the little shotgun mic, boomed right close to my face using the magic arm just clamped right onto my tripod leg. And I think this is probably the best solution for most YouTubers. If you know you take your tripod out a lot and you try to film stuff with other people, it's definitely pretty convenient to have this little magic arm just booming the mic really close to you. Now, I'm not going to say that I came up with this idea. You know, I've seen YouTubers like Casey Neistat use a setup like this, but I kind of just wanted to show this one last just because I think a lot of people know about it, but there's probably some people that don't. And I think that if you're trying to keep your whole footprint just small, having a setup like this or using the lav mic is probably the best solution. If you're trying to do like YouTube videos where, you know, you're sitting down and you're talking to the camera, it's going to give you way better results than just putting a mic right on top of your camera and talking to it. I would say that that style of like YouTube video making only really works if you have a super wide lens, and sometimes people don't want to have like a super wide lens and show more than what they need to. They just kind of want to have like you know, standard framing like this. So I think that this mic setup actually works really well for situations like that. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, it'd be great if you hit the like button, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I also have links in the description to all the gear that I mentioned in this video, as well as a bunch of other gear that I use and recommend. There's also a link to my Sellfy account if you want to buy one of my $5 LUT packs. And I also have a link to my Patreon if you want to support me there. So yeah, again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Later. My white balance set correctly? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.